Let's call the meeting to order. Approval of the minutes, May 4th, 2022. I get a motion? John, second.
I'll second.
Emmett, all in favor? Opposed? So moved. Utica Sunset. Jack, you're up.
I'm gonna kind of skip around if you don't mind.
Sure, you're in charge.
Hold on.
Everyone.
Good morning.
I'm gonna go right to 1400 Broad and BGM. BGM is a plumbing supply house and doing other things, but they are up on Eagle Street and a location up on in Westmoreland that they will be leaving at some point. They recently purchased the Pepsi distribution center that is over on 1400. Well, it's not 1400 Broad, I guess, in some instances, but it's a lot of, I think, St. Anthony or something. With us is Mary Shepard and Andrew Dominio, who will describe the project and answer any questions. And Mary is the chief executive bottle washer, I guess, and everything else.
Sometimes I feel like that's what I do too. Yes, we're in the process of closing on 1400 Broad. It sort of came up under I hadn't planned on buying any property right now, but I've always been in the eye out because I've been with BGM for now almost 30 years. I bought it December 31st of 15 from the former owner that I had worked for quite a while. Good morning. And as soon as I purchased it, I got certified with the state as a women-owned business, which was another major effort. Now this sort of came up as an opportunity, and I didn't want to pass it up because I'm really starving for space. Because on Eagle Street, I have I don't even know how the square footage is not much. And I have 5 Connex trailers, 40-foot Connex trailers is my other warehouse there. And I'm still packed to the gills. And I have another warehouse out in Westland, which is about 4,000 square feet. I used to own a foundry, and I liquidated that to make that a warehouse when I purchased this. And so I need to have everything in one location. That's my whole idea, is to have it under one roof. And I've already gone, and since I'm getting close to closing on this property, I've already sold the Westland one in lieu of this one. I'm gonna just get rid of all the others. The one on Eagle Street is gonna take a little bit of time because I have to build out this property. I'm putting a lot of money into it. So, and if you have any questions on that, feel free to ask me.
I think the biggest thing too is, what it will allow BGM to do is not only carry more inventory and help more companies, but also too to help add to the competitive edge with regards to electric. The plan is hopefully long term is to also hopefully offer more industries and supplies or more supplies to other industries. One being possibly electric. But right now we really want to help grow, BGM and to help continue to help our local contractors with some of their projects and some of the big ones around the state.
And with this women-owned portion of it, I'm going to try to add on, but I have to be able to have the ability to stock, to show that I stock stuff. I need to have space. Once I show that I stock like different types of material, I can add them to my code, and I can also be doing that business as well.
Okay.
So it's a couple-edged sword here. I've been really looking to do that for a long time.
And of course, with the expansion will come more jobs and the ability to hire more people on.
And what are we looking to do here, Jack?
Induce the project and
Can I just interject here,
Yep.
Linda? So I've disclosed to Jack, there is a potential conflict here because I've represented Mary in the acquisition of this property. So in connection with the lease back, I will be doing the work for the IDA, and I will have Courtney Weller, who's a colleague, will be issuing the opinion on behalf of the company. So technically there isn't a conflict, but I want to disclose that.
Need to push away from the table, Linda.
I'm away. I'm gone. Wait a minute. I don't want to intimidate anybody into voting, you know?
No.
Of course not. Anybody have any questions?
No, I want to say that I live in a house that's exactly as old as I am, so it's an old house. I read your application, and I love it that you dock for people who live in that sort of house need, and that you have people working for you who know what they're talking about. So I'm grateful, and I wish you a lot of success.
Thank you.
Well,
It's hard to find people that know stuff. Luckily, I have my son working for me. And I think I gave him a lot of the brains because I think he just blows me away. He has a lot of knowledge. He's picked it up on his own, and it's really added to the business a lot. So,
Great.
So for the record, I'm going to read my deal.
Yep.
We're here to consider an inducement resolution relating to the 1400 Broad LLC / BMG supply facility, granting preliminary approval for financial assistance in the form of reduction of real property tax for a period of 10 years, value estimated at $155,918, which financial assistance is consistent with the agency's uniform tax exemption policy, and authorizing the agency to conduct a public hearing. Also consider a seeker resolution relating to the 1400 LLC BGM supply facility. The agency is acting as lead agency for the seeker review and has determined the project is an unlisted action project.
Yeah, can I just add the sales tax and mortgage tax?
Yes.
Was not, okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. Again, sales tax and the mortgage
you
reverse
said
tax.
BMG, by the way, Jack. You said BMG.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just
I was just trying to read quick.
A lot of people call me BMG, so.
All right, can I get a motion to induce?
I'll move it.
Second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Good luck.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you all very much.
Ben,
I appreciate everything you do.
Ben, can you do
Old guy
Yeah.
that worked, on Eagle Street. Is he
You're not coming through.
Which
The
one?
gray-haired guy like me.
Oh, you're probably talking about Carl.
I didn't hear you, Linda.
it? You did.
You're probably talking about Carl?
I
You
don't
all-
see him there. He goes
Motion.
to
Well,
lunch.
he actually just had a
I
couple.
think she's asking if you make the motion for the seeker, but Linda, you're breaking up. We can't hear you.
It was all part of the
Okay.
motion that Jack
Did you ask
left.
about the seeker?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was all part of Jack's motion, so.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Thank you all very much.
Well,
Andrew and Mary I'll be in touch with you again.
All right.
I'll be in
got
touch.
12 then.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Oh, I didn't even know that was Laura.
I'm
Oh,
just introducing.
I never met Laura. Oh.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you. Fine. Hey,
You put the face to the.
Right, that wasn't the face I thought.
I don't know
Is that
how to
good or
take that, but.
No, I didn't mean it like that. Oh, my.
Both.
Thank you.
Jeez.
Good voice, Linda. Or Laura. So we go back to Sunset?
Nope.
Nope,
Now,
okay.
the next project, we're gonna go to 4A under new business, which is Art Space LLC. With us is Becky St. Clair Carlson.
Carlson St. Clair. It's all right.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. And is Alex Cotero with you?
No.
Okay.
I'm just watching.
Okay, very good, sir. So Becky is going to talk about the project. This project originally was going to be on Genesee Street. It has since moved to some a city and a couple Gaetano-owned properties that are on the park side behind where the Thornberries or the oh, I forgot the name of it.
Lotus Garden.
Lotus Garden, thank you, is located. So, Becky, if you would, describe the project, and then, the board may have some questions or something, so if you want to go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, I'm happy to report that we have our art space project. You know, it's probably been going around for a while in Utica and kind of moving locations. And like you mentioned, we're now at Park and Clark, right behind the Stanley Theater, where there's vacant lots, kind of overgrown lots currently. It's Art Space Utica is a 4-story, about 43,000 square foot building that is a residential building that has preference for artists. And it will be solely residential, but then it will also have a gallery space on the first level that's not a commercial space that's open to the public, but a residential space in which the residents can invite the public in for events and for kind of engaging. Also building out a public plaza. So our goal is really to kind of connect to that area, connect with all the arts facilities that are in the area. It is a range of incomes with it all at actually, no, we have on here, I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember distribution where we have 40 to 80% of the area income. So a lot of it you would consider as workforce housing. We did just receive tax credit award from the state that it will allow for us to move forward to construction. We intend to start construction in March. We're working on just wrapping up the drawings and moving that along. So we've secured the majority of our funding through all these state awards. We have both the tax credits and also housing trust fund. We have DRI money in the project as well. And the city generously put in some ARPA funds as well to help close our gap for the project. But we're currently in full steam ahead to start construction on the project.
Any questions?
I have a question. How does someone qualify as an artist?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Is we had with it also too, just to clarify, so we do have a preference for artists, but we only have it on 75% of the units. That's a new regulation by the state for HCR. So we have it just on 75% of them. So anybody can apply to live in any of our buildings, even if it were 100% preference for artists. So anybody can apply. And then when they put it in their application, they self-identify as an artist. So then they go through the process of making sure that they income qualify. Once they do that, those that have identified as artists are then the first ones that are able to fill in the lots. The ones that don't still have an opportunity if there weren't enough artists that submitted their applications, and then they would be able to live in there as well. But those that are self-identified as artists then go into there's a committee that that meets with them. It's made up of usually local supporters at the beginning. I've just people that we've been in contact with, and they go through fair housing training, so they know exactly what questions they can ask. It's a standard set of questions because you have to be able to ask the same question for everyone. And they go and they just present portfolio or whatever it is that their art is. It's a broad definition, very broad. You can have you could have a writer, you could have a painter, something that you would think of as artist. It could go to culinary artists, it could go to with hair, it could go to tattoo artists. There's just we're not there to limit. We're just here to kind of create kind of a general definition. And so when we meet with them, it's also not juried. We're not there to tell you how good your art is. It's more just to understand kind of the commitment of the person and just they're wanting to be part of an artist community.
Have you ever done anything like this before, or do you know of anybody who's taken on this sort of project in a city nearby?
Well, we have 54 projects across the United States from, small towns to, we do have 3 other projects in New York. One's in Buffalo, one's in Patchogue, and one's in East Harlem. The one PS 109 in East Harlem is our latest one. I think that was completed about 8 years ago, and that's about 100 units there. It was an old school that we renovated.
Thank you. Interesting.
Any other questions?
Not for me.
Jack, you want to read the
Sure.
inducement?
Consider an inducement resolution relating to the Art Space LLC facility, granting preliminary approval for financial assistance in the form of reduction of real property tax for a period of 30 years. Value estimated at $6,845,270, which financial assistance is a deviation from the agency's uniform tax exemption policy, and authorizing the agency to conduct a public hearing. As to the seeker, it is on the agenda for the planning board tomorrow. So then at the next meeting, then we'd be able to pass the seeker.
Okay. All right. Get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Bruce. Second.
John, all in favor? Opposed? So moved.
Okay.
Good luck.
Becky,
Okay,
thank you very much. We'll be in touch. Our lawyers will talk with your lawyers.
sounds good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep, you have a great day.
Thank you too.
Jack, I guess, I mean, related to the housing and the housing study that the city recently commissioned, I mean, what is the plan in the city? Because it seems as though there's quite a few housing projects that
Right.
are either come online in the last 2 years and quite a few more that are gonna come online next 18 to 24 months.
Right.
I mean,
For most of the projects that we've had so far, we've had marketing studies done, and it shows, and they have proved out. So for
right, but
the,
they're all one-off. They're not looking at it globally. I'm talking more the city's approach to.
John, to be quite honest, I have not read the housing study. Brian could probably answer that a little bit better if you want me to ask him to come in. It's up to you.
Well, not for today, so but I think at some point we need to understand
Right,
where we're going, because the study clearly outlined the need for housing is on low to moderate
right,
side, which these projects that we're talking about meet.
right.
But where are we going as a city long-term? With that type of investment that we're seeking.
Yep.
I mean, not to be political, I mean, that's kind of what the mayor's touting now is what we're doing, and we certainly have to meet the needs of the LMI population, but we gotta make sure we're striking a balance as well.
Mhm. I will have something together for the next meeting.
Is that to make sure I'll come?
I'll bring my presentation to you, John.
Bring some donuts.
No, you wanted fresh fruit.
Should we be looking at a policy, a change in policy relative to these so that
Right.
we don't get ourselves stuck somewhere down the road where.
Yeah, proven
In
projects that just
in
aren't really
addition,
going to be used in the end. Sure,
Yeah, and
absolutely,
they're pointing to the fact that we've approved a bunch of them, so.
absolutely.
Jack,
Yes, sir.
has anyone in the administration decided to take a look at the master plan that was developed when O'Farrell was mayor, which is a while ago now? See how that fits in with what's going on?
I'll include that with the conversation. Okay. It's more on the planning side of things. I'm just not, I don't do market studies or overall plans.
Jack, just a minor thing on what you sent us for the art space. I think it was the architect's report. The addresses are correct on the top, but on the bottom, it still has the old parcel highlighted.
Oh, for Genesee Street?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Jack, one last question about that.
Yep.
The project of infrastructure with the heating elements that you were talking about, is that tied in with this project at all?
They are in the design of their building, they're kind of past it already.
Okay.
So I think they're accommodating, an air-based, heat source instead of the, geothermal that would be out,
Okay.
out in that
So that
parking lot.
allows them to get additional credits with HCR when they're. for
Correct.
application.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Utica Sunset Associates.
You wanna
Sure.
jump on that?
So this is actually ratification of action that was already taken. You recall the Utica Sunset closing that occurred a couple of years ago. The project is at a state where they're doing their permanent financing. They asked the IDA to enter into a regulatory agreement simply in its capacity as a leasehold interest. The IDA has no obligations under that, just to recognize the existence of the agreement. So Vin signed this, it was probably in June for a closing. So this is just ratification of that action.
Motion to ratify.
I'll move it.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Good.
Carbone. One of the, things that when we have a master lease with our client, and then past that, we have our subleases. So just so that everybody is on the same page with them, while we had identified, I think, 6 out of the 8 that are in Carbone's building, the 16 Stone Brew Pub and Divine Needs were later additions. So then we needed to acknowledge.
Consent to the sublease
consent
of the
it.
space, yep. Excuse me, and we did receive copies of the sublease agreements. Excuse me, we have a request to the company to amend it just to incorporate the IDA standard sublease language, so we'll make sure that that's incorporated.
The issues with a pub being in there or anything?
No, Linda and I discussed that yesterday.
You have any problem with that?
No, I don't have a commercial.
Heaters, workout, drinks.
So at the closing, at the original closing, the agency took all action to qualify financial assistance for a retail facility because we knew there were going to be retail establishments in there. So as far as the retail portion, no. As far as the brew pub portion, Linda
Yeah,
and
it's,
I.
yeah. It's fine. It's not a majority of the space. It's a small part of it. So I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, it's probably like 1,000-1,500 square feet. That's not very big.
Okay. I get a motion?
I'll move.
Mark, second.
Second.
Emmett, all in favor?
I abstain for the lender on that.
Okay.
I was aware of the brew problem.
That's why you did the project. All in favor? Opposed? Moved.
You got your growler already?
You know, I went gluten free, so I got they better have some good scotch.
Anything else, Jack?
No, that's it for me.
Other projects we're looking at?
Oh, let's see, we have, projects that are around the harbor are kind of coming into fruition. Vin is president of that group, so he knows. So there are, Patel has a project that they're going to be doing, a couple down there. Esh is looking at one of the buildings down there. So, in time, those will be coming along. I know I've looked at a couple others, but go
Can you
ahead.
speak to the $18 million that Schumer got for North Genesee Street and how that will impact?
I couldn't, I mean, I don't know, Vin, if you have a little better
Well,
on it.
the money we got a few years ago was for the bridge, the walkability into the harbor, not for.
So that's just the funding for it.
Yeah, and that's
Right.
around the harbor, not in it. So it kind of brings the city that way, so.
How about the, Bleecker Street is with another stance?
1900, it's always the bane of our existence. I know they're supposedly talking to a company to move in there. I guess it's a local company and some expansion, I will get a better timeline for that. If prior to any meetings that you have questions,
As long as we're on that topic. Central Mill,
yeah, I mean, it's,
Well, that's coming up in December.
Yeah.
We gotta deal with it now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been 5 years running.
right,
And then whatever's going on with the temp building.
right. We don't have anything on that right now, but he has
It's all
proposed,
related.
he's put an application out to me in the past for one of those buildings. I reviewed it, I made comments, and he's never gotten it back to me. But he does have that the 2-story right next to Fort Schuyler. He's got the 4-story that he's looking to make the apartments out of. I think that's the Kemp building. So those we don't have under any type of,
Do we get an update from them, like
I'm-
where they are, and how they
Yep.
plan to move forward?
And he needs to be more specific than the prior updates. I mean, is that building even completed? I know they have, Pavey had the building for a while, now, Signature has it.
it's been run through a bunch of different people.
Right, so is it? It's a leasable?
Has the design changed since?
No.
Originally came?
No, originally they said they were waiting for the DRI funds to come in to kind of,
So
jumpstart that,
what's the
but then
source
that's,
Whatever source and use he gave us 5, 6, 7 years ago, whatever it was,
right,
he's got to update that. Because he's had project overruns, understandably, and but just over time, price increases. I mean, how's he gonna complete that project?
good question, John. It really
I
is.
mean,
I bring it,
that's
when I talk with these guys, I bring it up to them and they just, oh, yeah, we're working on it. It's like, okay,
Oh.
now I'll pin them
road to
down a
hell
little
is
harder.
paved with good intentions, Jack.
Should we invite them to our next meeting? I don't know if the board wants to meet with them, find out what's going on.
You can.
Big projects out there and
Yeah,
we don't know what's going on.
Jack, we should also, look at the job, requirements of each of those projects. Because that clearly,
Okay. The time has passed on some of it.
And they want to do more in the city,
Right.
as we all know.
Yeah, they have quite a number of buildings that they're, they have a piece of.
Yeah, I don't want to step into the legal, political bullshit crap here, but, they can't keep expanding if they're not taking care of and finishing what they've already
What they have, right,
started.
exactly.
These are high profile buildings right on Genesee Street. This is,
Right.
you know,
And Sean,
That's up side street,
right there in the corner, it's nice.
All his projects.
Well, the other buildings that he has is that they have some type of, control of, if you will. 501 Bleecker, they have Genesee Street down across from on the other side of the Ovalston, the laundry building that's down along the arterial. So they, have their hands in a lot of buildings, but I don't see a ton of progress. They do their environmental, they clean them out, and then they just wait until they get a tenant.
Clean it up.
Yeah,
They cleaned it up.
right,
So now he's got a 100,000 square foot building that's 125 years old. What the heck's he gonna do with it?
right. Good
And
question.
they a lot of money to
Right.
return that one.
we gotta move down on Lincoln Ave.
why don't you invite him in, Jack, next meeting?
No, I have it right here. I will be.
We don't wanna have them in December when, they got a gun to our head.
Right.
No, I
Rather
think,
than in October, next meeting, or September. See where they're going.
what building you have across from Ovalston?
On the same side of the street,
Great.
it used to be there's the Sunoco on the corner.
Yeah.
And then that little plaza used to be like Phase and Rite Aid and
Yeah.
stuff in the auto parts.
Ronald Jewett Place? Is that it?
Uh,
How about in Clinton?
Clinton.
yeah, Clinton,
Almost.
kind of across the street from the Chinese
Yeah.
restaurant, the Colonial Laundromat there.
Do they own it or they control it?
Who knows with them?
I guess you just said it right there.
Hard to know. They just keep moving and driving and deacon.
All right, anything else?
No, that's good for me.
Motion to adjourn.
Hold on.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to give a brief update. We've been working with the assessor's office here. It looks like they are changing the taxable status date in the city of Utica from August 1st to March 1st. That will be consistent with the rest of Oneida County. Except Rome will be, I think, the only outlier, but the city has approved it and they're waiting for confirmation from Albany. The only thing that this will affect our calendar is our busy time will now be March 1st. You know, closings will have to occur before March 1st in order to get benefits for the upcoming years. Okay.
Linda, anything on your end?
No, I'm good.
To adjourn.
Um,
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Good meeting.
Thank you all. All your answers.
Mr. Gill, anything?